Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Clara.
And we have reached the end of our journey as we now talk about the finale of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Part 2.
The Mephisto Waltz, I
That's
think.
it.
Give the number.
I said the finale, or the
That's
conclusion.
better.
Whatever. Hi, guys. We
Hi.
just watched the finale. First of all, we're fucking stupid for not realizing that the devil was her father when she was Jesus this entire time.
We're dumb.
We talked about her being Jesus, like, 30 times and never was like, well, that's because her father. Like, we literally saw her in the manger. I'm an idiot. But you're an idiot too, so Olga's an idiot over there. Yep, we're all stupid.
Look, we were all tricked by Satan. It's all right.
It's true. It's true. So I do like that aspect of it. I think of all the twists and turns in this episode, that one worked well.
And it got me.
Yeah.
Oof,
and we were talking while we were watching the episode about how it's like a nice perversion of the fact that Jesus is the son and God, and she's the daughter and the wife. And I like that.
Nice is a stretching.
It's a nice perversion.
Yeah, it's a nice
and they perverted quite well. It's quite perverted. What did you think of the episode overall?
I'm trying to add up everything, and I come away with it excited for season 3.
Okay.
I would say there were some high highs, like how hot Satan was, and some low lows, like the musical number.
Yeah, so overall I liked it, but I do think it was an uneven episode. My favorite thing about it is Nick ending up with the devil inside of him.
Yes.
And in hell, and Lilith getting her due and becoming the queen. I think that's all.
The two things I wanted most.
Yep.
Nick being Satan and Lilith being Queen of Hell.
Yeah. Also, freaking, Prudence and what's his name?
Prudence and Ambrose going on a fucking revenge.
Yeah,
like,
that was great.
So cool.
Really excited about that. Yeah. So that's awesome. I like, obviously, you get a lot of good fan servicey moments. Ending with Zelda being the new high priestess. And they did answer some of my annoying questions, such as like, the fact that we were like, why would they be worshiping the devil and like why wouldn't they be pro the apocalypse?
Right.
Well, they didn't know about that.
Because it left it out. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so that I think was good. I like where we ended with the Fright Club. As far as like, I don't think that it was an earned point at the end there, but I'm excited to see the 3 mortals actually be useful and be a part of the main storyline and fully become Scoobies, to use the Buffy terminology. Because if we were talking before about how they just felt very extraneous this season, and I don't think that they necessarily earned being useful in this episode because their plotline I thought was really stupid.
I mean, it was so weird because they definitely could have just had this moment in the first episode. But whatever, it's fine. Sabrina needed to be away from her.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think if we're going to talk about the season overall, I think that it really failed at this being like Sabrina's witch bad girl season. Like, it really, like... It
was about as bad as Nick is. Yeah,
and that's another thing to talk about. Like, so the reveal of Nick being in on it the whole time really fell flat for me. And I honestly don't even think was real. Like, they wanted to give him some extra dimension, but it really didn't work.
Because the dimension was like, I mean, if we're to believe him, and honestly, he seems pretty trustworthy.
Yeah. Except that he's been lying the entire time.
But he hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, Satan was like, go out with this girl, like, stay with her.
Yeah. And he wanted to.
And he wanted to, and he had wanted to before.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a huge betrayal.
Yeah, well, okay,
I understand that Sabrina wouldn't trust him.
Yeah. I mean, it's a betrayal in that his intentions have been hidden from the very beginning. But at the same time, as far as... But the thing is...
We saw her in chorus.
Yeah. But the thing is, he didn't know where it was going. And 2, he didn't actually do anything to work against her. The entire time, he just did what she wanted him to do, which he would have done anyway. So the devil didn't even need to send him there.
Like, it's true, he went in the dumpster, but Sabrina could have.
Also, why didn't... honestly, I don't know that I believe that the character of Nick that we've seen wouldn't have just told her that the Dark Lord wanted them to be together. Like, why didn't he tell her? Because he was scared?
The Dark Lord probably told him not to tell her.
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like Nick, and so I'm excited about where they leave Nick, right? But I feel like Nick is a huge casualty of the writers struggling between, well, we want him to be complex and a bad boy, but also we want to make sure all the girls can still swoon after him.
Here's how I feel. I think they did that so well by making him just over the top, not a bad boy in any way, shape, or form. Well, they just They just dropped
Yeah, but
it. And
except that they wanted that then they took it back by being like, oh, he is a bad boy. The entire time he's been lying to her.
But every time they do that, they give him 30 seconds of bad boy time, and then he's like, I'm so sorry, I'll make an even bigger sacrifice now for my small dishonesty.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't small.
My point being that, like, I feel like they wanted to give him, like, oh, he actually is a bad boy, but, like, if they had they could have left it where he was working for the Dark Lord the whole time, and they still could have had it be, but he developed feelings.
Right.
But they could have had it be that he didn't want to admit, because of the Dark Lord, he didn't want to admit that he had.
They could have made him a bad boy.
And at the very end, he actually sacrifices himself for Sabrina. He doesn't, like, admit that he actually loves her until, like, They just make him completely a puppy dog that for some reason didn't tell her because he was scared. It adds into the puppy dog thing in a way.
It's like compulsive making Nick good.
Yeah.
It's like they're so afraid.
Yeah.
To make him
It's weird. I don't know. I feel like I'm not describing what the problem with this is that well, but it just doesn't...
No, I totally get it.
Yeah.
He didn't actually lead her down the path of night.
Yeah.
She was walking there, and he was just, like, walking beside
it's
her.
Not, I guess the thing
telling her occasionally, like, are you sure?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's not like he's been tricking her, like, he didn't tell her everything, which he should have done, but it's not like he's been working against her from the shadows this entire time. You know?
Let's say he did tell her.
Yeah.
Hey, Sabrina, girlfriend who I already started going out with,
and who I liked before he even said that.
The Dark Lord just asked me to be your boyfriend. How do you feel about that? She'd probably have been like, no. And then she would have been like, yeah. Like...
Yeah.
No one tells me who to like or not to like.
Exactly.
You're tricking me, so I'm going to double trick you by being with him.
I do like that, if we carry it back, that Lilith was pushing them together in episode 4. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. I will also say that my one downside about Lilith, though I do like where they ended her, right?
She can't be Giles.
What?
She can't be Giles anymore if she's in hell.
Well, but then they have the act, that way she can be in both. Now she can play both characters, right? Because she's the teacher and Lilith.
But she's not gonna be the teacher. She doesn't have that body anymore.
Oh.
Unless she possesses her.
We haven't
established
we're not
possession
okay,
yet.
Here's the thing. We're not done seeing Lilith, and there's no way they're having a different actress play Lilith. So whenever Lilith comes back, she'll inhabit that body.
Okay.
Yeah.
I trust
I
trust that.
Yeah. But I like that she ultimately became the quote unquote good guy, or that she worked with the heroes, right? We all saw that coming, but it was still exciting to see it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And for her, and as far as for her story and her allegory, it makes sense. There's a good ending, and they really sort of hammered it home with the, like, he was nice at first and stuff like that. But before she turned around, I think that they should have had to actually face off with her as a villain. And maybe that will be next season. We'll be like, oh, we thought she was good, but now she's going to do something against what we want, against our interests or whatever. But, like, we had such a long buildup of they don't know it's her. She's been working against them. And, like, yes, okay, technically she sent the monster after them and they stopped the monster.
Really?
But, like, you've been building her up. Like, have her be, like, an actual threat with actual stakes.
The only being that's posed a threat to them for more than...
5
1
seconds.
minute is Batty Bat.
More than 1 minute. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I think so. I think Batty Bat's the most powerful creature they faced off against. Because it took them how long to
I mean, I guess you
Satan?
could technically say that, no, Satan lasted longer than Batty Bat.
Did he?
Well, multiple days, even if for the episode time, maybe less. But...
Okay, I guess.
Yeah. But, like...
That's true.
Technically, Blackwood, I guess you could say, is the longest running villain who's, like, been a thorn in their side or whatever. It's also... Isn't it kind of weird that we never got confirmation of who killed the parents?
Because, well, that'll be an ongoing, like, she's not going to find that out for a long time.
But, like...
She's a Spellman!
Yeah, but, like, isn't that stupid? Like, is it not clearly... If it is Blackwood or the devil, we should have heard about it by now. So it better be not them. In my opinion, because why would you keep hiding it at this point?
Yes, it's probably not them.
Hopefully. Let's talk about Blackwood.
An angel. Do you think her mom's an angel?
I mean, she's an angel. her dad's an angel, technically.
Well, I mean, they're going to call it, like, infernal. But
are they going to kill Blackwood off screen? I think no.
No, absolutely not.
If they don't follow Ambrose and Prudence every step of the way.
No. Again, this show, I think, struggles with the fact that they want to do big things, but they also want to stick to the status quo. What's his name? Blackwood, by all means, probably should have died by the end of the season, right? Given all the things he was doing, probably should have died. But he's a main character in the main cast in the opening credits. He's going to be throughout all of next season, in my opinion. And that's.
I feel like he should die within like the first 2 episodes.
And that's why I was like, the devil's here, all this crazy stuff is happening. The entire episode, I was just waiting. I was like, okay, how do they get rid of this so that next season we can start and it's just back to Baxter High? And that's what they did. But let's talk about Blackwood. Because Blackwood, I like where they end it because I love the revenge plot thing. That was cool. The 2 swords, all that stuff's cool. And also, I even kind of liked him poisoning the congregation.
Oh, yeah. He went full, like, deranged cult leader as opposed to hypocritical religious leader. But
beyond that, if you think about him throughout the entire first 2 seasons, he makes no sense.
No, I agree. And he's not likable as a villain anymore. He's annoying.
Yeah, well, because remember we talked earlier this season, we were like, he's one of our favorite characters because he follows his own logic continually. But the problem is that he knew from the beginning of season 1 that Sabrina was important to the Dark Lord, that it was of the utmost importance to the Dark Lord that she write her name in the Book of the Beast. And
you went back and you rewatched to make sure.
Yeah, because he talked to Lilith about it. And this season, the beginning of the season, he knows that she's supposed to ascend. And yet, every step of the way, he tries to stop Sabrina.
And he laughs in Satan's face.
Yeah, and he's surprised that Satan wants to... It doesn't make any sense that he would be... like. Right. We talked about how it could be a metaphor for like religious leaders who decide that they know what God wants. They interpret the Bible or whatever in their own way for their own power, and they say it's for God, but it's really for them. The problem with that is that in this world, he knows what the devil wants, and so he's just an idiot working against the devil, thinking that somehow he can get away with it. The only thing that sort of helps is that he does, quote unquote, get away, I suppose. But even that like kind of annoys me. Like, the fact that the devil didn't just show up and kill the fuck out of Blackwood is stupid.
The fact that the devil isn't killing people to make a point irks me.
This show has no teeth.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And it was supposed to be a horror show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some important person should have died at this point.
In fact, one of the first killing I believe we ever saw on this show was Miss Wardwell, who is now back to life. Yeah, no, the show has no teeth. They couldn't even kill the Weird Sisters. They could have easily killed the Weird Sisters.
They could have killed Melvin.
Yeah.
Or Elspeth.
I have no connection at all to the other 2 Weird Sisters. It would have really added to Prudence's character. We do not need those 2. I was pretty sure for a half a second that they were going to actually kill them. And I was like, good. Not only was I like, good, I was like, well, at least they killed someone, but that's still pretty small potatoes. And then they couldn't even do that.
Right. No, I know. And it's really frustrating to see Satan be like, if you betray me for the 4th time, that time I'm really gonna be miffed then.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, kill her cat.
Yeah.
Kill Salem.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Put this cat out of his misery.
the Fright Night thing, and then Salem's like, what about me? And I'm like, Salem, you haven't done anything on the show. Just die.
We love Salem.
No, not in this show. I do not. Ambrose is Salem on this show, and that's fine. Just let Ambrose be awesome.
He is awesome.
Yes.
There's one glorious moment where I really did think Nick was Salem, but he wasn't.
Yeah, what was the weird thing about, like, oh, you can burn your familiar? Did Salem even do anything?
No, but then Nick showed up, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say, personally, I think that the actor who played the devil was, like, passable at best. And I
agree.
And to a certain degree, I think they knew that, and that's why they put him in Nick. Because, like, I don't think we're going to see that actor again very much unless it's, like, flashbacks, right? So,
yeah. He was good when he was silent, because he has that sort of, like, creepy, angelic look. Yeah. You know? Like, he looks good, but then he's creepy.
I just think he was, I don't think he was bad. I think he was, like, a 6.5 out of 10. right? Like,
looks I would score him higher, but yeah.
I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about his performance. The fact that, like, here's the thing. Think about how scary the pilot was when she was eating the apple and seeing all the hell imagery. Like, not only did they, like, neuter that throughout the season by making the devil goofy, but then when he actually shows up, he's not, he didn't kill Blackwood even. Like, I understand that building up a character for 2 seasons and then having them appear in the finale to have a really important part, it's like, that's a really hard role to step into. And I think it would be almost impossible for it to live up to expectations.
Yeah, but he should have done one thing. Mm-hmm. That's it.
You should have done one. Well, that's the thing. You know what's actually kind of interesting is that last season ended up on much more of a downer note, right? The fact that he had to write her name in the Book of the Beast.
Why doesn't... She's not even upset, really, about Nick. She's already, like, upbeat about it. I mean, this kid is very chipper, and I love that about her. But it's also, like... They ask, how are you hanging in there, you know? And she's like, actually, I'm pretty fine, surprisingly. Like, yeah, because nothing has an effect on your personality.
Because she's going back to go get him, which doesn't make any sense because the devil's in there.
I mean, right, so so, like, could we let something have an effect on her character?
Yeah.
Once?
See, the thing is, I guess I was...
How has she changed since episode 1, season 1?
How she changed?
Uh-huh.
Well, what's interesting is that I think that she actually had a pretty strong arc in season 1.
Right, no, but I'm saying right now, end of season 2 compared to season 1, episode 1, what is the name?
What is the difference? The difference is she knows she's not a witch. And she doesn't know who she is or what that means and what...
But she didn't know that, actually, in season 1, episode 1. She was wondering whether she was going to choose to be a witch or mortal.
Well, no, but so that was, in general, that has been her major dramatic question. Am I a witch? Am I a mortal? Now that is not the question anymore. Okay. She knows she's not a witch.
And that is true technically, but in terms of how it actually manifests
as a personality trait,
as personality and as a character,
I think that's what next season is going to be about, though, is about how she comes to terms with realizing that she's the daughter of the devil.
But right now, we've gone through 2 seasons. How is her personality different now, based on everything she's gone through? Because she's been through a lot of traumatic things. Mm-hmm. How is her personality different? Because a lot of things affected Buffy between season 1 and the end of season 2. A lot of things affected Sam and Dean Winchester between beginning of season 1 and season 2. Where's the...
Yeah, I feel like here's the thing. I feel like they did a great arc throughout season 1 because they started with her being very likable, not wanting to sign her name in the thing, and then becoming more and more self-righteous and power hungry and arrogant.
Great.
And then she's been
really good.
And then this was supposed to be like her darkest hour, right? The way they build this season, if you look at the trailer, which I know you didn't watch, but it's like they show her killing the 2 people as the Mandrake person as though Sabrina's doing it. They're talking about how she's levitating, she's using magic too much. They're showing her making out with Nick. Like the idea, and think about how the way season 1 ended with her with the Weird Sisters. They promised something that I do not think they delivered on.
Well, and it's exactly what you were saying. It lacks teeth.
Yeah.
Right? So they'll make this big dramatic thing and then they take it back.
Yeah.
And they won't let anything actually continue on.
Yeah. Yeah. And because that's the thing is I don't actually like that they ended on, I'm going to go get my boyfriend back. They should have ended on, I'm sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They should have ended on like the bittersweet of like, oh, I have my friends back, but then I walk out in the rain or something.
She should, or she should be like crying and she could have a good moment with Roz.
Yeah.
Like there could have been something where she's...
Because I'm torn because I do like the like setup of like, okay, we are with our friends again. Now the mortals actually matter now and all that. But
she could be sad while she could have been like sad and dramatic about it instead of like, I'm actually fine. Like they ask her outright and she's like, it's fine.
I think you're remembering it slightly differently than I remember it. I don't think she was like, I'm fine.
I think she says I'm doing surprisingly well or something like that.
I have to rewatch that bit, but yeah, you might be right.
It's
either way,
much more positive.
Either way,
like, I just killed my boyfriend who sacrificed his life for me yet again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She didn't kill her boyfriend. She sent her boyfriend to hell.
Yeah, and I guess he didn't sacrifice his life multiple times. He just sacrificed his time multiple times.
What else happened?
The masquerade number, I didn't like it. It wasn't spectacular enough. If you're going to distract Satan with a spectacle, make it spectacular. Why wasn't it a spectacle? And why was it that number? It didn't make sense.
So we talked a lot in now that I'm thinking back to the season 1 review that we did, which I should link to probably.
It's here.
We talked a lot about how this show has multiple audiences it's trying to serve and multiple identities that it's trying to deal with, right? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the issues that I feel like I feel like you have trouble with are the Riverdale influences on this show.
And I haven't seen Riverdale.
Yeah. But so to be like, to me, so something like the musical number doesn't shock me because Riverdale is riddled with musical numbers, and they had just reminded us of her choir singing like a scene earlier, which I actually liked the choir singing. This I do agree was a step too far.
She could have sung. She could have sung, and it did. I don't actually have a problem with a musical number. Yeah. I think that could have been cool. Yeah. It's the fact that it's Masquerade, which is a really showy piece, and you need a really good soprano, and that's not what we got. We got a very, like, downplayed, low-energy version of a Phantom of the Opera, like, major, like, choreography number. Sorry, Dan, I just hit you. I'm so frustrated.
Well, the other thing is that I also, no matter what, to a certain degree, no matter what, that I don't think this is the episode for that, right? Because, again, we should have been scared in this episode. We should have been like, holy shit, things... We were scared last season finale when it was the 13 Wicked. Like, I felt like it was like, holy crap, how are they going to get out of this situation? Right. So they could have, like, episode 4, Lupercalia, have your Lupercalia sing dance number or whatever. Like, have a song. I don't think that it really fit here. And if they were going to do it, I was joking about do something like Highway to Hell or like you're like really on the nose in a way that's like actually funny. Whereas this, I'm like, why are you singing about a masquerade as you're performing a masquerade and trying to trick somebody? That seems like a really bad song to sing right now.
Yeah. And also, I mean, it was ill-suited for a number of reasons. Yeah. I think they could have, Personally, I think they could have done something where Sabrina sang a solo piece for something in her range. Yeah. And it's solo vocals. Yeah. Because if you're not going to have a really well choreographed dance number, essentially, like...
And that comes back to another thing. So a lot of our problems come from the fact that the scale of this show is not as large as it should be. Like, it's weird when the entire coven is dead, and it's like, oh, pick out these 2 people to save because they're the only named people other than the weird sisters.
And it's like, it's not like naming people costs money,
you know? I mean, that's a fair point. But I think the biggest issue...
Maybe it does.
Yeah, the bigger issue is that this is a successful Netflix show, and I feel like when I watch it, to a certain degree, I'm like, why is this low budget?
Right.
Because like we were talking about, like, oh, the set that they had the big dance number in was kind of drab and small.
I mean, it was the size of a small.
Yeah, and I'm like,
functioning.
You know, they could have paid for a lot more extras. There's been a number of times where I'm like, why are you in the same 4 sets over and over again? Can't you afford a few more sets?
Why do they hang out at the bar after school?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that doesn't make any sense. They seem like they're cutting corners on certain things that I guess don't, like... They're not showing the scale of the church. They're not showing the scale of the school. Okay, to end this on a more positive note, if you could name 3 things that you want out of season 3, what would they be?
Easy. 1, good Nick as Satan scenes. Mm-hmm. 2, good Lilith as Queen of Hell scenes, ideally doing really, like, awful things. Mm-hmm. 3, Ambrose and Prudence not just killing Blackwood, but, like, continuing to be badass together in some way because I like them together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Those are good. My hopes for next season really lie on the mortals. I want them to matter more, and I want them to be more interesting. I want them to give good things to Theo. I want them to end Draws and Harvey, like literally... Next episode, just be like, well, that was stupid. Let's break up. I don't need that. I need, what else do we want? I guess you're right. I want Fallout for Sabrina. I want to see more her development for her. Right. And I want more...
All mine were fan service things that I wanted, but those are more important things that I also
And I want more fun one-off episodes, because I think they do those well when they do them.
I want a good musical episode.
Yeah, give us a good musical episode. Because actually, I think Harvey sings too. I'm pretty sure.
What are they doing?
But he wouldn't have hired him on Disney if he couldn't sing.
All right, guys, thanks so much for sticking with us through these trials by fire. It's been quite a week. We're going to have lots of fun new stuff for you coming down. If you haven't seen, we've reviewed every single episode of the season. We've also been doing some Cloak and Dagger stuff, some 100 stuff, some stuff for In the Dark, I believe it's called. So check that all out and let me know what else you want us to talk about in the future. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Hail Satan.
Hail Lilith.
Fair.